In 5 years, my job will be gone. Recently, a friend of mine made that statement while we were having a great conversation. Now, he's using AI every day in his work, and he's totally fascinated by what AI is doing and how it's revolutionizing the world. Last week, I saw a major influencer made what I would consider an outrageous and probably even a stupid statement. He said that in the future, there's only going to be two types of businesses that are profitable. The first type, he said, was AI companies, and the second was social media influencers. Talk about total hype and garbage. Seriously, does he really believe that we're not going to need any other services besides AI companies and social media influencers? It seems absurd. I guess maybe we're all going to stop eating. We're probably not going to need clothes anymore. Maybe we won't need to have homes. They won't need to be serviced. We're definitely never going to travel or need any kind of entertainment. Yeah, all we need is social media, influencers, and AI companies. I guess no one's going to make computer chips for cell phones or maybe tablets or computers or all the data centers. I don't know. I think that guy was just trying to trigger people with hype and fear. Now, rolling back to my friend and his conversation, he told me that he was really fascinated by AI, and he doesn't consider himself a technology specialist, but he's definitely an enthusiast when it comes to this whole AI world. And he said over and over during our conversation, I am so fascinated by it. And then he'd say things like, I'm so terrified by it. And he's like, I guess the baseline is we just don't want it to take over like Terminator did, or things like that, where he's trying to come to grips with where the world's going to go with AI in the future. Now, how many of you remember 1999 and the Y2K scare? People thought computers were going to melt down. They thought they were going to take over. They thought they were going to explode. They thought that all the computer systems were going to shut down. We were going to lose electricity. They thought we were going to go back to a pure agrarian society where we're outside growing our food and just hunting and gathering. Like, it was insane what people thought. And it was all because we were moving from 1999 to 2000. Maybe you're starting to notice a pattern. And it's this idea of the fear of the unknown. Fear is a natural part of human existence. It's part of what kept and keeps us alive. Fearing the unknown helps our bodies protect ourselves from things that could be harmful. But in today's age, fear of the unknown can drive people to insanity. Talking about insanity, let's roll back just a few years and talk about COVID for a moment. How many of you saw people whose behavior was absolutely insane, totally crazy during the COVID pandemic? I mean, we had people who were just buying mountains of toilet paper. I don't know. I guess they thought maybe COVID was going to stop people from ever manufacturing toilet paper again. I don't know. It seemed crazy to me. I think for me, the craziest moment I probably saw personally was I was out in the middle of Lake Powell. Now, for any of you who don't know, Lake Powell is one of the largest man-made lakes anywhere. This thing is ginormous. It has just, I think, hundreds or thousands of miles of shoreline, and you're up in all these little canyons, and there's just lake for miles. And we're out there and we're boating along, and this other boat drives by, and they're far enough away that they weren't very close, but you could still see them clearly. And as I'm looking out, there's a guy driving his motorboat, wearing a mask, in the middle of the lake. I don't know if he was afraid the boat was going to give him COVID, he was going to give COVID to the boat, or maybe he was afraid he was going to give COVID to himself. I don't have a clue. It didn't make any sense to me. But people will do crazy things, and they'll start making crazy statements when the fear of the unknown takes over. So instead of being afraid, what if we made a plan? Now, nobody knows all of the facts of what's going to happen in the future. Totally impossible to know that. Not something humans can do. But we do have some ideas, and we have some signals, and we have some leading indicators. And so instead of just fearing the unknown, when we make a plan of what we can do, things that won't change, ways that we can set ourselves apart, and we execute on that plan, we can go from having this combination of fascination and terrified to being in a state where we feel like we've got some more control. And when we're actively taking action to move ourselves towards that end goal and that plan, we're going to be in a better state. Even if our plan was off, it's easier to adjust if we're in motion than if we're sitting still waiting and watching the wave come to take over. So ask yourself, what can I do personally Or what can my business do to create a strong edge or a strong moat or a strong protection? What is it that I can do to differentiate? What can I do to set apart? What can I do that will, even with the coming AI systems and the robotics and all of these new technologies that are going to come and shift the way the world operates, what can I do personally or in my business that will still give me an edge, that will still give me a competitive advantage? Once you've figured some of that out, go in, create a plan, and start moving towards that goal so that you can still stand out. Now, if you're looking for some tips on how to create a moat around your business or even in your personal life, I highly recommend that you go and watch episode 144. This episode is all about what it means to build that moat that will protect your business so that even in these shifting times, you've got some core fundamentals that will keep you standing apart from all the competition.